In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the amazing template builder that's available on rivalripper.com. To get to this, you need to log into your Rival Ripper account, and on the left over here under the listing management, there's going to be listing templates, and that'll take you to this page right here. I'm just going to kind of piece through the buttons and kind of go over the things that stand out that might not be clear when you're just kind of exploring the areas in here. So once you get on this page, what you're going to see is the red means creating a new template. The green is your templates, and then it also shows what kind of template it is. If you're using the custom builder that we have, it'll say builder template. If you're using the code editor, it'll say code editor, and the code editor happens when you import your own template. So like I could click right here to start importing my own template. So if I this would be handy if I paid a web designer out there to create me an eBay template, and I paid them $3,000 for this fancy template, and then went in here, I could just paste the HTML code in here. So whatever all the code is, so it's going to have this fancy little code editor in here. If you actually put some HTML tags in here, they'll stand out. So when you're to think about how our template builder works, we have these things called tags, and so I can insert any of these tags. So like I can insert the photo, which is the actual image. It's basically an image tag with all the HTML wrapped around it, or just a link. So actually the link to the image, like on the web. The important, really important thing here is description, really. Maybe even title and description. Maybe you want to put start price in there somewhere. So I could put my description as a tag right there. So let's say I had some crazy HTML going on, and here's all my design elements, and my company info is in my template. This is not what it's going to look like. This is just an example. But then I have 1,000 different listings that are all using the same template. So when I fill out a new listing, it's going to replace this tag with the actual description from the listing. So these tags are super useful. I don't think any of our competitors do anything like this. I haven't seen any. So you can insert photos directly into your templates if you wish, and then the photos will actually come from your listing. So if you have 12 listing photos, you can insert photo 1, photo 2, photo 3, and use the same template across all your listings, and then just use these tags instead of having to do it manually on all your listings. So when you create a new template this way, you'll just want to name it, and if you want to set it as your default, you can do so, and then it'll show up first when you create a new listing. So that's for creating a custom template with your own code. If you want to start using our builder, you can start from scratch by clicking this button here, or you can use any of these blue ones. The blue ones are basically pre-built templates. So I could preview by clicking the little icon, and it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So let's try, here's one with some photos that you can replace. Here's another one, some fancy lines and dividers. All these templates are responsive, which means they shrink. So if I were to look at it on a tablet or a cell phone, or on a desktop or a laptop, the size, the width of this squeezes in and out as your screen size changes. That's what it means by having responsive, mobile-ready templates. So that not only are they mobile ready, they're tablet ready. So if somebody's ordering on eBay on their tablet, your templates will fit. So I'm just going to start from scratch here. I'm going to click Build New Template, and this is going to load the template builder. So the way our template builder works is we have pre-built snippets. We have, I believe, over 300 pre-built snippets. If you click up on the top here, by default, it's only going to show the featured, which I think there's maybe 30 of them or so that are featured. And then if you click on that, you can see all the different options that are available. So if I just pick one, there's one paragraph. Here's some examples with paragraph and titles. There's probably 30 of those. And all you do to use them, super simple. Just click it, drag it, and boom, there you go. If you want 2 of them, you got 2 of them. So if I want to go back to the paragraph, I can do the paragraph. And then when I was talking about doing the code, you can insert your tag. So if you want to insert your description, it's basically just 2 brackets, and then make sure you don't misspell it like I just did twice. Description. So there's my description, and then here you can put in title. So you can actually also click this button down here on your bottom to insert tag, and then pick a tag that you want. So I wanted title, and it's going to do it twice now. Or you can just type it out like I did previously. So that'll give you your title and your description, and then if I want to underscore underneath that, and I'll show you the difference between photo and photo link. So if I insert the actual photo, and then below that insert the actual photo link, and then do a preview, it's just going to show your most recent listings. So this is I don't know, Huffy Disney Pixar bike or something. Now, this is very important. When you're creating your own template from a pre-built template, you won't be able to preview it until you save it. So if you click Save down here, it's going to ask you what do you want to call it. And I'm going to call it Tutorial Template. And hit Save. It'll tell me it's saved successfully. And then now all this data here has been saved in the database under your user, and you can hit preview and then select a listing. It's just going to give you your most recent listing data so that you can preview it, and it's going to pull in your title, description, and any other tags that you have from this listing that you select. So if I click this little blue thing here, I can hide the snippets, and if I want to reopen it, I can click it again. So to preview, I can hide that for a moment while I look at my template. And so here's my title that got entered in. And yeah, so this is just a placeholder. So this is where my description will be. But since I'm just doing a preview, we don't actually store your full descriptions on our servers because it would just be bloated full of data that we don't need. When you're editing your listings, it's actually pulling the description from eBay so that you can see it. So your description will go here, and you can see that it's worked because it replaced it with this placeholder. So every time you do a preview for the description, it's always going to say something like this. So here's the difference between photo and then photo link. So here's the photo. If I actually look at the HTML here, you can see it's an actual eBay image with the full tag sitting in there. So the little HTML tag, it's all filled in. So that's the photo 01. And then here is photo link. So photo link, all photo link is just the actual URL to the image. Like if I go to a browser, so now I'm looking at this in my browser, so it's just the image. So that's the difference between photo 01 is the full image with the HTML tag around it, and then photo link is just the actual URL. So that'll come handy when you want to replace images in an existing template. So for example, if I go back here and start editing this template again, I want some new snippets. If I use images, let's say I use this one right here. So when I hover over an image placeholder, these little kind of blue and green and gray placeholders are for images. I can click to change the image, and right now it's just a placeholder. But if I want to change it, I can click this link, and I can replace the image with something from my gallery. So let's click that. All it does is put in the URL from the gallery, and typically you don't have to enter in a title or link. That's just an extra feature if you want to mess around with trying to gain some SEO from your listings. Usually it's not needed. So really all you have to worry about is this URL. So if I hit OK, my image is now in here. Now if I want to use something from the actual listing, now here's where the photo link comes in, right? So I want to use photo link 01 and save that. So I think I did that right, correct, right? Yeah, so photo link 01. So cancel. So it's going to look like that because it's pulling in it hasn't generated the HTML yet. It's going to generate the code later. So when you use the link, it's just going to be a little thumbnail. So if I do photo link 02 and then photo link 03, and then remember to preview, you must save first. So I already created a template, so I just want to save and overwrite my existing one, hit save, hit OK. And then now I can do a preview. I'll use that same listing. Since I used photo link 01 through 03, if this listing doesn't have a 02 or 03, then it might not work. So let's see. Yeah, so that listing only had one photo. So here it is though. So it generated the actual image. So if I had 3 images on that listing, then this image would be over here. It'd be the first one, and then there would be one in the middle, and then one on the third one over here. So I can close that. Now, if you know HTML at all, you can actually click this little tag right here, and you can edit the HTML. So here's the text of the heading. Change it to hi there, and hit OK, and that was actually up here. So when I click this one down here in the bottom, this is the entire page. So I'm looking at the entire page of HTML here. So here's my photo link 03, 02, 01, and then here's the other stuff I did earlier. And then the hi there was right here. So if I do it again, hi there again, it changed right here. Now, you have to remember that this is in sections, so it's in snippets, is what we call them. And if I want to just edit this snippet, so if I look at just this snippet here, I can click this little tag here, this little blue one, and it's way less code. It's just a little snippet of it. So I could change there, hi again, 3, and then it changes it. And you can see that it's highlighting this area. And if you click on this one, it's highlighting this area. And if I want to delete this section, so like let's say I delete this section, I just hit X. You can actually clone the section. So I just cloned it, and then I deleted it. It'll make sure you are sure you want to delete it, and hit OK. And then I can use this to move it. So I didn't go far enough. So there, now this is down here by just using this green movement. So we covered the HTML code, inserting tags, how to preview. Make sure you always save before you preview or the preview won't work. All your snippets will be over here. In a future release, we're going to look into allowing you to create custom snippets, and then you can select your own snippets. But for right now, we only have the pre-built ones available, and then but you can create as many templates as you want. So you could in effect create your snippets in a template, and then save your template, and then clone your templates. We're also going to add cloning a template in a future release. So another thing is when you're editing text, so if I click on here and I have this text editor, but on the top you've got some formatting tools. So if I wanted to highlight can change to anything. So I'll just highlight that, go to the top up here and hit bold. So now that's bold. I can go to this text and cross it out. I can do this text and underline it. I can do this text and change the color of it. So I have this cool fancy pop-up. Change it. Let's make it pink. There we go. I got some pink colors. You can change the font. So let's just change the font of this to Aladdin. There. Now I'm flying on carpets. I've got Aladdin font. If you want to change the headings, so you can make this heading 4 or heading 2 or heading 1. I can do a list, so I can do a bolded list, a numbered list, or I can remove a list. So if I want to do a numbered list, hi there, number 1, number 2, you get the picture, number 3. So let's go back. I've got numbered lists. If I want to center text, I can use this right here, and now it's centered. And if I want to insert links, typically the eBay policy will disallow you from entering contact information. I believe you can enter links though. So if you want to enter a link to something, you have to highlight the text that you want. So I can say this and click this and then whatever it is. So www.google.com or you can put your website in there or whatever you want to put in there. And then again, this is for SEO stuff if you're into that, and whether or not you want to open it in a new window. This is all more coding stuff, but really all you have to know about is the link that you want and then the text. And so there you go. So now this is a link. So if I save this so that I can preview it and then hit preview, I want to preview that same item, scroll down, and this is a link. So if I click on this link, it should take me to Google. But this is in an iframe, so the links inside here won't work. But once they go to eBay, they will work. There's a little side scroll on here, so if you want to use that, you can, or you can use the one behind it, which is harder to see. So let's hide that. If you hit save and exit, it's just going to take you back to the template list. So here's the one I was working on. I think this one was one I created earlier. So in a future release, we don't have this available yet, but in a future release, there's going to be a button when you're editing the template that will make it allow you to make that template the default when you are creating a new listing. It doesn't change any of your existing listings or anything. It's just going to default when you go to create a new listing. It'll be the first one that's selected, and that default is chosen by this little asterisk right here, so you'll know which one is the default. In the future release, that'll be probably a button right next to the save. It'll be like a default button, so we'll have that there eventually. And then, like I said earlier, we're looking at creating custom snippets. So when we do that, we'll create a new tutorial for that you can watch. So I'm going to exit back to the list, and since I saved it already, I can preview it here. And when you preview it here, it's only going to put in example text. It's not going to use one of your listings. And if you click the trash can, that'll delete it. And really that's all there is to the template builder. If you click any of these buttons, it'll only show that color, so you can click all. And that's it. Hope you like our awesome template builder. And we are looking into the future to create a lot more templates, maybe some with some custom images and custom design images. We haven't got that far yet when this tutorial was made. So if you're looking at this tutorial, in the future there's actually going to be thumbnails of each template. So it'll look a little bit prettier than what you're looking at here. So that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.